that's must be a troubled property because it's always up for sale but never sells. So that guy's always just fishing for top dollar, like that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
But okay, let's start up again.
Okay. Hey everyone, Mike and
Matt
here for another installment of Mike and Matt on
Fire. All right, sweet. So this is another episode of Smash or Pass, guys, and the idea behind this is we're just going to take properties and use that smash or pass outline. So if we like a property, we're going to want to smash it either as a flip or a buy and hold, or if we really like it, it'll be called a don't pull out, and if we don't like it, it's a pass. And with that, we're just going to jump into it and check out some more properties in London, Ontario. So here we got a duplex for sale in London. It's $260,000. It's right in the Old East Village duplex, an ideal owner-occupied or money-making investment. Upper level is a one-bedroom, fully renovated unit with hardwood floors, newer kitchen cupboards, and bright windows. In-suite laundry in both units, very easily rented. Main floor is a two-bedroom unit with ample living space and storage. Updated flooring and painting throughout. The basement is unfinished, currently used as a workshop with a separate secured entrance. It could be used for further income earning or storage. High ceilings offer many great uses, ample parking at the rear and storage shed and fence. Walking distance to all the Old East Village has to offer. Units have separate hydro meters, perfect investment, and an ideal rental area. Won't last. Owner occupies the two-bedroom on main floor, tenanted upstairs, $700. One bedroom. He has gotten higher rents upstairs in the past, but the current tenant is a family friend. Call Phil for showing. Oh, this is Phil live. Well, okay, here we go. Interesting. This is going to happen someday. So we'll quickly take a look at, and so now that I've read that it's Phil's, I'm pretty sure that, I think this is on King Street, just as an FYI. Yeah, that looks about right. So I think it's around here, just to give you some context. Like one of those like newer-ish kitchens, but I still don't love the style. But the flooring looks pretty solid. Everything looks tidy and clean. Alright, so once you've gathered your thoughts, let me know and we'll do our thing.
So, okay, two-bedroom unit on the main floor.
Yeah.
And tenant upstairs is a one-bedroom.
And so it's separately metered. The only thing, we don't know if the tenant upstairs is 700 plus hydro or not.
Yeah, family friend though, so that might not be market value either.
Yeah, and that's definitely implied by the ad. And often you will find both ways. Sometimes people will say a unit's under rented and it's blatant lie. And other times people will say it's under rented and you'll go and be like, oh yeah, this is crazy.
Clearly under rented. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think I have what I need to kind of do it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to pass.
I passed as well.
Although, so I'm going to start off on this, and this isn't just because I know Phil, but I did pass on this just because we're talking, it's going to be tough to get to that 1% rule, but beyond that, it's more about, it's just good enough, you know? Like, I don't think that if someone bought this, it'd be a terrible investment. I don't think you're going to go broke if you bought this. It also might be not a bad investment if you're going to own or occupy it, live on the upstairs, rent out the main floor. Probably, if you're aggressive, you could get maybe 900 plus hydro for the main floor. And that's with me out really seeing it. Maybe you could even bump a tire, maybe you could get $1,000. Long term, I'm actually extremely bullish on the area, so that's why I'm saying that I don't think a person would have a bad idea owning on King Street, because right here is where the Western Fair is. As well, that's where our current racetrack and slots are, but there's a proposal that appears to be going ahead where they want to build a new hotel and have more gaming stations. And so I think it's supposed to be like, I don't know if it's like a true casino or a quasi casino, but anyways, I posted an ad on a Facebook group I host for London real estate investors, and there's supposed to be 700 new jobs coming because of this, like hotel casino, right?
Wow.
So think about like,
those are good jobs.
And like, they're not, at least not bad jobs, right? Like they're going to be probably middle income jobs, a decent amount of them. And like, that's a big intensification from an employment standpoint, right? So it seems
huge. And
the city also seems to have a mandate, and this ties into the London plan, if you guys have read through the London plan, to really focus on revitalizing the Western Fair District. So again, I think the long term, you know, like they're constantly now having music festivals and stuff there, so I think eventually there could be some interest in Airbnb plays on King Street and the surrounding areas. So despite the fact I passed, because of all those other reasons, you know, if this property was more at the 220, like I would actually say to people like, I think there's some potential there. Yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on the property.
Yeah, so I passed on it because the numbers didn't work for me.
Yeah.
In that area, I still, maybe I'm stuck in like 2015, 2014 mindset.
Yeah.
But like, and I am adjusting myself up, but there was a time when I would look at triplexes in this area for like 100 grand.
It's quite possible that 4 years ago, this, like, at least as far as I'm concerned, it could have been an easy 140 where you negotiated to 120 type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know how much work it needs in the main floor. There's just pictures of the upper.
Yeah, relatively hard to see.
But it didn't look like it was like super mint.
Like everything looked clean and decent, but like, yeah, so often like when they promote, these kitchens as being great, like, it's not bad. And this is one of those things where we were talking about earlier in another video
Those
where
cabinets aren't bad.
The kitchen's good, but it's not great, where you're like, oh, if I decide to make the kitchen great, I'm going to end up spending as much money as if this was a bad kitchen, right?
Yeah.
So that's sometimes like where I personally, as an investor, I'd rather see a worse kitchen and buy the property cheaper than have a decent kitchen and pay more.
Yeah, exactly. It's also just like a 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom at that price point. Like, if this property was like, in Richmond Gates or anywhere in like Old North or Northwest London, it'd be a good buy. In the area it's in, I don't think that it isn't like one of the top areas in London. It's up and coming. Like, it's actually, I actually am starting to agree with you, because I used to be very, very very bearish on Old East Village, anything east of Adelaide, and I've changed my opinion over the last 2 years because of meeting guys like you and hearing the things you've had to say. You've turned me, and like growing up, my dad had a lot of properties in the area.
Yeah.
And so like I actually lived in the area. I went to Lorne Ave before they closed it.
Yeah. I remember
grade 6.
Yeah.
So I have a history in the area, and it was a really bad area for a long time. Like, you get properties for nothing, like a song there. The area has changed. I've now been walking there frequently in the last 3 to 6 months. And I've noticed I'm walking there and I'm like, this doesn't feel
I didn't know you had been. Okay.
So I've been going around and like checking it out
learning,
and just getting a feel for the area. I'm actually, I would say I'm neutral in the area. I'm not bullish on it, but I'm not as hard on it as I once was. I still think that price point is too high for the area, but if a good property came up, I wouldn't say no to it in the area. I think that like Old East Village it's won some awards now. Like, people have started to, and I used to work in the area too, so at Infotech.
True,
so I, over the last 3 years, I've seen the improvements made to the area. Guys like you have been changing the area, right?
Yeah, trying to at least. And so like what I really like about it, and I think you can take this and apply it to any other metro city, is like it's got like a commercial corridor that right now has a lot of vacancies, but the ones that are tenanted are often young entrepreneurs that are very community oriented. And so I think what ends up happening is you just build a really resilient commercial corridor as it slowly fills in, but the cheap rents attract the young artists, the young entrepreneurs, the risk takers, and the people that believe in community. And so I think that that's how you can build a really unique and vibrant neighborhood or area in a city. And so that's what attracted me to it, where other parts of the city I like just as much or more, but because they don't have that commercial corridor, I don't see the long-term potential for it to really grow and blossom. So like, I really like, and I've mentioned multiple times on my channel, the Ridgeway area or even Blackfriars, but I don't think that area has the same thing. Like Wortley Village has it to a degree, but the problem is Wortley Village honestly doesn't have enough commercial corridor. And so the rents for like commercial businesses have just skyrocketed so much. So yesterday we were doing that, an Old East Village like reach out thing at my YouTube incubator, and this one guy stopped by. He lives in Wortley Village, and he's been wanting to start up at like an authentic British fish and chip place. But he said he was looking at rents, and like even just for a tiny little commercial space, the rents were just insane. He's like, we're gonna have to come to Old East Village in order to be able to like afford it, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, otherwise we're gonna have to charge like $30 for these fish and chips in Wortley, right?
Right. I personally am. I don't like the Wortley Village, Old South area. I think it's overpriced. Like I think it's, here's where it should be priced and here's where it's currently priced for what you get.
Yeah, like I probably agree, and if I don't agree, I definitely think it's hitting the upper ceiling, like where I just don't see the justification certainly for it to go any further.
I don't see, here's the reason I'm not as bearish on Old East Village, because don't get me wrong, there are still a lot of people, like when I walk through the neighborhood, there are still a lot of people who have been there for a long time, and some of the people who we need to you know, I don't have a lot of properties there, but you know, if people who are there and in the community would want to leave that area, and as soon as those people leave, it's going to help the area in a big way. But I see that migration happening, and I see the long-term play. I see the potential in Old East Village. So Old East Village offers a nice potential play, so that's why I'm not as bearish on it. I wouldn't ever live, like I wouldn't want to ever live there. Personally, it's just like my personal preference. But again, I don't want to live in a commercial area. I want to live in a residential area where I can raise my daughter, and that's a personal, you know, preference of mine. I want to have a place that's family orientated as opposed to somewhere that has a lot of artistic shops and things like that. Yeah, just not my style, my personality. But and that's why I'm neutral. I'm not, you know, I don't live there, but I definitely see the potential. And as an investor, if the right property came up in this area, I believe in the long-term prospects of that potential of that area. So and
just one little side bit I want to talk about. Props to you for doing this, but I think it's a really important strategy that more people need to use. Is if there's an area that like you have a preconceived notion about, I think the best way to either confirm or deny it is just to walk the area a bunch. Not once. Don't go there once, like on a Friday at 9 p.m. Go different times of day, different days of the week, and like really get a feel for it. Like honestly, like I think I know the Old East Village pretty well, but I still try and like frequently once a week go to a new store or a new place and like just get, you know, tea or beer or whatever, just to, because you overhear conversations and you just get a feel for the community so much more.
And one thing too, as a real estate investor, if you're buying properties here in London or you're looking to buy properties in here in London, when I'm looking to buy in an area, like Matt said, whenever I'm driving by, I'm getting groceries or I'm going by somewhere, let's say I'm going to visit another property and it's on the way by, I'll pull into Old East Village and I'll drive around. And I've been doing that lately a lot. Or like I'll stop and visit a friend in the area when I'm going around, and I'll take a look and I'll just kind of appreciate all that the area has to offer or doesn't have to offer and say, okay, am I noticing, you know, and maybe in Soho, for instance, I might be noticing a bit of a migration of, you know, the riffraff from Old East. I'm seeing them move south. And that's a trend that I'm seeing. I don't know if you're seeing it, but
I definitely wouldn't disagree with that. I don't have any like hard data to back it up, but like anecdotally, I completely agree. But yeah, just like each time you walk through it, each time you drive through it, you're just adding more data to your reference bank, and you're just building a more robust understanding of the area.
And talk to realtors in the area. If you want to buy a property,
absolutely.
Talk to all the realtors in the area and say, hey, what's selling, and what kind of demand are you seeing? And you can actually follow the trends. I've been able to do that a little bit, where I've seen like here, like where we are right now, these semis used to go for like 150, 160 grand. They're all like 260, 270 now. And you won't get anything, like it's hard to find much below $250,000 in this area now. And that's just because the trend of like the people who lived in these semis were the last of the people whom were of lower income, and they've been pushed out now with the boom. They've more south. So that's something you can follow trends in your area, and that's more speculative investing, and I recommend always buy for cash flow.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying if you want, like, so if the cash flow worked, and you can have a bit of speculative bonus, why not?
That's the perfect, and that's kind of the same thing with Old East Village to me. But that's probably long enough on the Old East Village in this one
spent too long on this one.
So we'll jump on to the next guy, and so here we go. So this is completely changed. So this is the first one that's not in London, Ontario, but I think one of the things that me and Michael were talking about earlier was lots of guys, when they first get into real estate investing, they just search Kijiji and they see like, what? $100,000 for an 8-plex in Lucknow? I don't know where Lucknow is, but that's gotta be a great investment. Or they see, what? This amount for a property in Zurich or Glencoe or whatever the small community that you couldn't point out to on a map right now. And it's enticing because you're like, if I could rent it for anything, I can make money. And sometimes that's true, sometimes it's not. And so we thought it'd be kind of fun to start documenting those as well in our Smash or Pass. So the first guy we got here is 37 Main Street, Zurich, Ontario, not far from where I grew up. And it's got 6 2 to 3 bedroom apartments, approximately 4,000 square feet total.
That's a massive
gas heat, newer windows and roof, plus commercial of 4,000 square feet. Block building, 15 foot high, plus 65 by 170 fenced outside storage. Building lot, business opportunity, over 28,000 square feet of land, near Grand Bend, Lake Huron, 30 miles north of London, Ontario. Great income, operate your own business, live rent free. All this for $459,000. So compare that to the place we just did on, what was it? Brodale or Broadale?
Brofdale, yeah.
Brofdale.
Same price.
Brofdale was 100,000 more, but a few less apartments.
Brodale. That would be good for Brodale. It kind of work near West.
I think you got to rebrand it as that.
Yeah.
And so here's just a lot of exterior shots.
It's a big building.
It's 20
huge lot, a big shop in the back.
Yeah.
Several bays.
So one thing to note here is they really didn't give us any dollar numbers, right, to work with at all. We have no idea what the rents are.
No, in Zurich too.
But we know we got 6 apartments.
And they're 2 and 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So a 3-bedroom in Zurich, I don't know the market rent that well, but I would assume they're all definitely under 800, I would think, in that area.
Yeah. Honestly, without seeing the condition at all, based on my bit of knowledge, I honestly would go super conservative and assume 550
for a 3-bedroom even, right?
Yeah, I would just go super conservative because
sure.
I'm just fearful that there's no interior photos. We can see that some of these buildings are relatively old, right, with some additions that no idea the quality.
The brick looks, at least it's brick.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of space though. It's
a massive property.
I'm sure that there's other real estate investors that could be financially independent and own less square feet of property than just this one guy.
The shop's 4,000 square feet alone.
Right. But that's where my headspace would be at. And in these small areas
or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
the workshops could rent for something, but personally I wouldn't really count on the commercial spaces renting for much or at all. And again, if you were actually interested in buying a property in Zurich, Ontario, first thing you should do is figure out where it is on a map, and secondly, drive and walk there a bunch.
Yes. Any area you want to invest in.
Yeah.
If you're buying a property anywhere, you need to be able to make sure you know that market. You walked it a ton.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I talk to people who who I know are from Toronto or wherever, and they want to buy properties, say here or in Sarnia, where I'm just outside of in Kamlaki. That's where I grew up, in a smaller town, sort of in between Grand Bend and Sarnia. Talking to those people, and they hear about properties like these, and they think, wow, I'll just buy them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, have you thought through, you never want to go to this city ever, and you never plan to go to that city. How are you going to run this operation? These tenants have
unless you're going to partner with a local expert, I don't see how that makes sense. Yeah. But so anyways, let's talk about...
So let's throw the shop up at 600. It's 4,000 square feet. So I'm thinking just as storage for boats and cars or something. So $3,900 a month. Yeah. Conservative.
Yeah, I think that's very conservative because we are still essentially ignoring...
and the outside storage, we're ignoring that. Yeah,
and the building lot. We're ignoring a lot of stuff. But
we're ignoring a lot of variables.
I also don't think that's a bad idea on this. It is nice though, it's gas heat often, just based on my personal experience in these smaller towns like Exeter, Ontario, Hensel, Ontario, Zurich, all of them.
Electric.
Often there's a lot of conversions or investment done in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and for whatever reason, a lot of them are electrical heat now, and sometimes the tenant pays, sometimes it doesn't, but it drastically impacts either way your net return. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I've seen $6 and stuff go for so cheap, and the reason is electric heating, and no one wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole because it's $1,000 a month to heat 3 units or something.
Completely, yeah. I actually had buddies that were looking at one in Hensel that I think was $6 for under 400,000. That was really recently renovated, but the problem was electric heat. All right. Okay, and reveal. So I'm saying I could hold and smash it or flip it. That's kind of my thoughts. I'm
gonna go with smash, buy and hold. I think you could smash this. And I'm assuming that the units are decent inside and that I'm getting rents that are decent. I think if I had to buy that, so I have the reason I might buy this is my in-laws live in Lambton Shores.
Okay,
and so they live really close. And I know that he's it's got a bit of commercial opportunity, so I know that I could maybe leverage some of the things that I have in
potential.
Yeah. So for me, there could be a little bit of leverage there to utilize that's commercial space. So for me, I put a little bit more value on that, and the building lot's a little bonus too. You could sever that off or something. And just because I go that area quite often, I go through and around there when I'm going to Lambton Shores sometimes, just in the area, and it's not the best property ever. I probably, before I buy a property like this, I'd probably go look at everything on the market in the area.
Yeah, just become an expert overnight sort of thing. And you can do that by binging really hard. Like, you won't become a true expert, but you can really ramp up your knowledge base.
You can learn 70% or 80% of what there is to know.
And that's often enough.
And it couldn't be just enough.
Yeah.
What I've often found is I've found properties like this and then gone to explore them and found a better deal while I was there exploring. So this could be a good gateway into a market or something like that.
That's a great point, because I've had that frequently too.
So don't be afraid to chase that gateway, because maybe that deal falls apart. It doesn't end up being the thing, but it's a gateway to getting into something else. Yeah. So many times that's happened to me.
True. And so my thoughts on this, so my ideas on the whole are very similar. I'm kind of from the area. I think I could probably get some commercial tenants if I really needed to. But on the flip side, how would I try and flip this? Well, I think that because of the area and stuff, I don't think there's a lot of active buyers looking for these properties. So I think I could negotiate the price down a bit. I'd be shocked if you came in $400,000, you couldn't walk away with this property.
I was thinking high 300s myself.
Yeah. And so my thoughts are, if I could buy it for say $4, if I really tuned it up real fast, lipsticked it all, I think there's an opportunity that you could then try and present this to these Toronto buyers and just like, here's a 10 cap rate, right? And like, maybe you end up selling it for like 600,000, right? And you maybe spent 50 to 100 on your rentals and stuff. And so your spreads maybe, 100 to 150,000. That's kind of my thoughts on it. Again, there's so many moving parts to it that you'd have to do a ton of due diligence to actually know that. And so I just want to caveat, these recent smash and passes, me and Michael are trying to get more creative and more open to ideas, but like, always still do your due diligence. If there was something that was a screaming deal that we showed you on this, one of us would have bought it. You should just probably know that, right?
Yeah,
like,
or we would have found someone who
referred
it to someone. Or you'd see a don't pull out, right?
Yeah,
like,
true, that would
don't pull out, again, it would be contingent on like me seeing it. Yeah. I haven't seen a don't pull out yet. It may happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, well, let's jump on then. Keep her rolling. So now we got a 6-unit multi-residential income property. And so
Saint Marie.
This is in the Sioux. So, excellent opportunity for investors. 6-unit multi-residential income property consisting of 6 one-bedroom units, building on full municipal services, tremendous income potential at a bargain price. 2 units is vacant, some TLC needed, excellent rental area, close to all amenities, possible seller financing with 20% down, and call Raj for more details. So, are you an expert on Sioux?
I'm not an expert on the Sioux. I know someone who might be.
Yeah, that's my thoughts too. I've reached out to everyone I knew in the Sioux. I had a couple old university friends that were from there, and a couple recent friends. So that would be the first thing I would do if I was actually interested in this. 6 units at 100,000. You'd think it'd be hard to go wrong.
Yeah, like 20K or even less a unit. Your battery's getting low.
Yeah, I was just gonna run it because I'm low on all my batteries, so I just want to milk it for all it's worth.
So we've got a 6-plex. It's saying excellent opportunity. Just say the rent's anywhere?
No.
2 unit is vacant.
Yeah.
TLC is needed. I love the English, eh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, very to the point though.
Yeah.
No fluff.
That's right, no fluff.
Not a painted picture, just painting facts.
Something interesting to talk about when we're talking about small places, because this is also like a small city that's far away. People often don't, I think, put enough value or like they don't wait heavy enough the vacancy rates in these places. You can go 3 to 6 months sometimes.
Easy. You could go longer in Zurich, Ontario for sure.
Yeah, so you got to factor in like maybe your vacancy rate is 10 times what it is in London. So not 2%, it was 20%.
And one thing I just want to point out here, how interesting is it that it's in Sault Ste. Marie, but it's a 416 number and he's from Markham. So that to me makes it feel like one of two things. Either one, he's just trying to like wholesale deals, like he's like finding deals and then bringing them, or it could be that maybe he's got like a Toronto client that owns a couple properties in the Sioux and selling. But like it's just weird to me, if I was selling a property in Sault Ste. Marie, my first go-to would be to use a local realtor, right?
Often like it's very hard to buy, like if I were to buy this property, it'd be very hard for me to, like I wouldn't be able to manage it. I'd have to hire someone locally to deal with that, right? And so you have to factor all that into your cost.
Absolutely,
and so that's something that is pretty, again, selling to Toronto investor or something like that would be very difficult, I think, because you have to hire.
But like, it seems strange that it's a Toronto realtor selling it to me.
I know. They're probably trying that technique of jumping into a Toronto buyer for under $100,000.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Good to go. Yeah. Okay. I'm past passing.
I'm passing as well.
And literally, it's just I've driven through Sault Ste. Marie, I think, but I've never really been there. I don't have deep enough connections there to actually own, and so I just have no interest. You know, I am these days mildly tempted to start owning property out of province or out of my core knowledge of Ontario and within an hour commute, but I'd only be interested in doing that in like large metro areas where it's almost more like there's a part personal aspect and a part rental income aspect. You know, I've been thinking it's cool to get some Airbnbs in like big cities, and then I can like double dip and maybe use them when they're not being rented. But Sioux's not high on my list, and that's my logic anyways. But it could be a fantastic investment for all I know. It honestly sounds like if this was within an hour's drive of where I lived, I'm positive I can make money off of it, unless it was a teardown.
Yeah, exactly. A sixplex for $99,000, like what? It's because they're valuing the land like nothing, right? No one wants to own a property. So the thing with this property, again, a good deal, 6 unit for $99,000. That's a fantastic. I'm sure the cap rate's like 3 or 4% or something at the current. I don't know what the rents are, but it's probably well the 2% rule, and you'll find that.
Or well, like I think you mean like probably closer to like a 10 cap, right? Like really high.
Sorry, 2% rule.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You'll probably find like 2% rule.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe even 3% rule. Yeah. And like, I've posted an article recently, like how you should use multiple checks beyond just like the 1 or 2% rule.
Yeah.
They can fail you. Not all properties are the same, and it's hard to compare two properties in this way. This is an example of like the maintenance on this property every month, and the trouble and the stress you're going to get is going to be so expensive. You're going to discount that into your model. So
it also sidebar. I know that I have a few fans that are from Sault Ste. Marie and Northern Ontario. I'd love to hear in the comment section below if you know this area at all. Tell us what you think of this. Right? Do you know the area where it's located?
31 Algoma Ave.
So let us know. Like it looks like it'd be kind of adjacent to the downtown area to me.
Near a college, kind of?
You know, like I don't see any reason why I would think it was terrible at first blush, but legit, I know nothing about your city. So I would love to hear though in the comment section down below if you know anything about the Sioux. So I
personally also have a rule, which is the reason I passed, is I don't like to own anything more than 30 minutes from where I live. I like to be able to drive to my properties if I have an issue.
I agree.
I'm gonna share something like that I've heard you say before too, is that like when you're hiring someone, they're only ever about 70% as good as what you could do yourself, or as like basically 30% of things that you wouldn't let slide, people will let slide because it's not their property. And so you'll find that with when you're hiring tradespeople and those types of things, that things slip through the cracks. And so you got to kind of discount and factor that into your equation. If you're not the one physically there doing it, things are gonna let they're gonna let them slide, right? And I like to just be close to my property, so that's a rule that I had starting out. This one's just too far, and I don't have any connections in the area, so, and I know nothing about the Sioux market. I've been there like a decade ago for a vacation. Same
logic as me. Okay, so I think again that's probably it for this Smash or Pass video. We'd love to hear in the comment section down below what you thought about the different properties we talked about today. If you really enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that beautiful subscribe button. And again, just a reminder, check out Michael's Facebook videos. There'll be a link in the video description down below. Every single day he's doing a daily journal where he just talks about different aspects of financial independence journey or the real estate journey or just kind of life balance stuff. So I highly recommend it.
It's all about personal growth, and if you guys are interested, if you have any properties that you want me or Matt to take a look at, send me a message on Facebook, leave something in the comments. Even if you want us to do it privately because you don't want people knowing about the offer.
If you think you got a real deal, feel free, just pass it.
I go look at deals with friends all the time just to help them out and give them my perspective.
It's honestly just kind of an addiction. I really enjoy looking at deals.
So do I,
great, so I think that's it for this video, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch. As always, I'm Matt McKeever, and this is
Michael Rosehart,
and we are
Mike
and Matt
on fire.
Nice, but we need an outro, so give us something that we should be using instead at the end of this video, and tell us in the comment section down below.
We had some very terrible ones, and you don't want to hear us say things like burning and relations to fire. We're burning out or something, fizzling.
But anyways, smoke bomb. No. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
See you, everyone.